do you think Sri Lanka's Vision 2048 previously is going to be affected by the present situation?
It will be affected to a great extent in that, as you rightly said, you know, the entire global supply chain is being knocked out of whack by the current tariffs that Donald Trump has introduced. However, we also have to remember that one of the key aspects of Vision 2048 that the former president brought in was a shift of our focus from Europe and America to Asia. He wanted to realign Sri Lanka, bring it into that Asian market. Now, when you look at the tariffs, when you look at the way it's been come across, so far there's only been 3 countries that have come to some sort of agreement with Donald Trump: Vietnam, Indonesia, and the UK. China and the US are in a sort of holding pattern right now on the tariff war. But the rest of Asia is still circling. They're still trying to decide how we're going to bring this on. Japan, South Korea, they're not backing down. Malaysia, Singapore, they're going back to their books. They're looking at it. So Sri Lanka also needs to look at this situation and decide, where does our future markets lie? As it was pointed out, yes, the US is our largest trading partner right now. However, what are we trading to the US, and is there a future in that? Apparel, over almost $2 billion of our trade goes to the US is made up of apparel. Now, Vietnam's tariffs have dropped down to 20%. They're our largest competitor. Indonesia, I mean, their apparel is $4 billion plus to the US. India also is going to be lower than 20%, we assume. Their apparel industry is going to overtake us. Bangladesh, even though right now they're above us, the sheer quantity of what they export to the US dwarfs Sri Lanka. So we have to really ask the question, is apparel and the US our future markets? Or do we look at diversifying our markets, bringing us into a greater Asia focus, and ensuring that there's a new, stronger foundation for our industries? We have to take the Singaporean model. When they first started, they were very much focused on a manufacturing economy, which is what Sri Lanka is right now. But they have moved past that to a knowledge-based, service-based economy. Sri Lanka also needs to look at that. The last 2 years, 2 or 3 years, there's been a far greater emphasis on converting Sri Lanka's economy into a logistics hub. Now, if that happens, it means that Sri Lanka will no longer be overly dependent on 1 or 2 individual markets, but rather we will play a bigger role in facilitating the global trade, and it places us at a far more advantageous position in that sense. So definitely, outlook, if we were to continue down this same path, is not looking good, but we have before us a situation that can, or should, in theory, speed up what we were trying to achieve under the Vision 2048, which is realignment to Asia.